All right, Moitzi Matzah. The Zohar calls, first of all, every night we call the Moitzi. Means we're gonna bench. Tonight we call it Moitzi Matzah. If he wants to call it two names because we're eating two matzahs, he should have called it Matzah Matzah. It's Moitzi Matzah. The Maggid here comes to tell us something. I mean, the Zohar calls the matzah that we're gonna eat at that point Michla de Asvasa. I'm gonna show you this once so you get familiar with that. Mechla de Asvasa. Remedy, medication, food of medication. This is what it means. Mechla de Asvasa, Ma'achal Refu'ah in Hebrew. Ma'achal Refu'ah. That's exactly the translation of the. So, very good. I didn't know we had such remedies. What is it? Zohar says, once you ate this matzah, nothing will hurt you anymore. You can eat anything you want and it won't hurt you. The Zohar goes on saying that even Rosh Hashanah, which is the Yom Adin, it's not Yom Adin for those who ate the Mechla de Asvasa, the Ma'achal Refuah. They don't have Yom Adin. It cures them also from the din. In other words, people are judged, yes, on Rosh Hashanah, but the din of Rosh Hashanah does not apply to those people. What's so amazing about eating a piece of matzah, unleavened bread, that's going to remove the koyach of the din on Rosh Hashanah. The Tiferet Shlomo Mirodomsk, a Saraf, a Malach, whatever you want to call it. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. He comes on a short vort on this and makes claims that are mind-boggling. Honestly, you would almost chadashan to say that, but I just want to emphasize the chiddush of what he says, that it basically it sounds too good to be true. So what is it? It's gonna make 4 claims, and he's gonna twist 3 Gemaras, 1 pasuk. All the shefa means all the brachas, all the parnasos, they have one conduit, and this conduit it's called matzah. There's nothing else that comes to this world in terms of blessings that is not coming through matzah. Whoa. And he brings a proof because the Gemara says in Rosh Hashanah that on Pesach, the world is judged on the Tvua. I don't know if there's a word in English to call all the, not the harvest. It's almost the harvest. It explains the pshat in the Gemara. It means because of the matzah, the world deserves to have a harvest, a big harvest. He brings the Gemara, second claim, in Psachim that states that the Pesach, which means the Korban Pesach, ne'echal ala soiva, has to be eaten once you're satisfied. Not on hunger, but when you're satisfied. A dessert, put it that way. What do we eat? The afikoimen. Today it's the afikoimen. Says Reb Shlomo, the Tiferet Shlomo, because of matzah, there is soiva in the world. Nechol ala soiva, he twists the words to explain that because of the matzah, there is the plentiful in the world. Third one was really, even me, I was shocked when I read that one. Says matzah is above the man. Actually, he emphasized the claim by stating that the shoresh of the man comes from the matzah. So what is the man? The man is the matzah that materialized, because the matzah is really heavenly. It's a heavenly product. It's a spiritual product. And once it came down, it had a physical form. But otherwise, the matzah is way higher than the man. The fourth claim, the matzah, so it takes a Gemara again in Psachim, Kuf Tes Vav, stating that matzah bisman hazeh, matzah in today's time is the matzah is the oraisa. Right. So matzah is the oraisa. He explains, you know what the Gemara means here? That through the matzah, we can understand Torah, and even the soidos, the secrets of the Torah, are revealed to us by eating the matzah. Yes. And he closes it with stating, with the matzah, we get four things: shefa, plentiful; kedusha. I know people want to go to kedusha, goes to the mikveh, but no, matzah, he says. Torah, wow. My mind opens up, you know. And parasha. Four elements that are guaranteed in eating this kazesim of matzah. The Zohar in Parshas Beshalach refutes that clearly. The Zohar Kodesh says there that the matzah comes from the malchus. I'm going to show you in a second. And by the man it says, "Ineni mamti lachem lechem min hashamayim." Min hashamayim is the tiferes. Kucha berichu. I'm going to show you the difference according to the Zohar. So we have that. So according to the Zohar, the matzah comes from the malchus, because the whole Pesach is in the malchus against David HaMelech. We'll see down the line by Baruch Birkas Hamazon. And the man, what we call Shamayim, is always the Tiferes. So here, Kucha B'Richu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So right here, Reb Shlomo said, no, the man is coming from, you know, from lower, from here, let's say maybe the Yisod, and the matzah is higher. But the whole Pesach we work in here. So how can we be here according to the Tiferet Shlomo? It's almost impossible. So how can he make such a statement when we have a Zohar Kodesh that says just the opposite? On the Ke'ara, on the platter, we have an egg on the night of the Seder. Why do we have an egg? Because the very same night, which is the Leila Seder, the very same night is going to be Tisha B'Av. So this year, Tisha B'Av is going to fall on Shabbos. It's going to be Nidche to Sunday. We know that already. What does it come to tell us? Comes to tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu always judges with tzedek. When Bnei Yisrael are doing the right deeds, automatically HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends Geula, sends Shefa, sends Parasha, sends everything. When the Bnei Yisrael are not doing the right things, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu punishes, stones and woods. That's what it says. It takes his anger on buildings. We'll see down the line that the whole night after that, when we're gonna finish explaining it's a big battle between Yisrael and Amalek in the Leil of the Seder, and it's gonna be a battle between Emes and Sheker. This is the main battle we have. We have to define who's going to be the victor here, and it's Emes and Sheker. The Zohar goes on and says, you know something? Matzah, that name here, matzah, it's really the same name as mitzvah. It's mitzvah. Only it's missing the vav. So when it's missing the vav, it's called matzah. It's called lechem oini. So really, the matzah is the mitzvah. I wanted to show you this time what is atbash. Atbash. So all this colon will be replaced by this colon, and this colon, you replace it by this colon. This is how you add. Why do we call it atbash? Because aleph, taf, beis, shin, atbash. So we only give the first 4 letters, so we know the system. So if we go looking for mitzvah, okay, we know the first 2 letters are hidden. Here's the mem. What's across the mem? Yud. So mem is hiding really the yud. What is tzaddik? Hey, yud, K. Now, if we go back, take our mitzvah, it becomes, if we take these 2 letters and replace them by the root, Yud, K, Vav, K. Every mitzvah unifies the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The matzah then is Yud, K, K. It's missing the Vav. Does it make sense to you that we come to the Leil Seder, we're going to come in a festive mood because of the Geula of the Bnei Yisrael? We're missing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Vav, when we say HaKadosh Baruch Hu means the spheres that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the spheres that rules this world and that we name HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But obviously, when the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Ein Sof, is only a very tiny portion of his light is going through here, and that's what we refer to as HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just for you to know, it's not the one Chaz v'Shalom, individual or there's no such a thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a tiny, tiny, tiny portion at the lowest level of his light that's going through tens of filters, runs the world. And everything occurring in the world to every individual and every creature, stones, everything. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why we refer them as a Vav. So now you want to tell me we are here. So the Malchus was trapped. If Bnei Israel are trapped in Mitzrayim, the Malchus is trapped in Mitzrayim. So the Malchus got liberated with us. But really, there's no one to be, you're doing your party alone. There's no one up there. In Shamayim, you're missing everybody. So who do we do the party with? With no one. So The Zohar says when the matzah is in a stage without the vav, it's called miskena. Poor person, misken. Now you understand why in Mitzrayim we can explain through that why they built Are Miskenos. Once they referred prior to this, when they came down to Mitzrayim, Pisam and Ramses, first of all, Pisam, we don't even know what it is, if it's the same or not. It's kind of these funky cities. One day I have to delve in it. I didn't come down to the side of this Pisam. I think I wrote about it once. I don't know if I finished it. I don't remember it. So Are Miskenos, because it's missing, they didn't have HaKadosh Baruch Hu with them. So Mimela, that's why these cities became also, everything they touched became a Miskenos. Equals 850, 5 times Misken. That's interesting. Usually, the Chasadim, so it says 5 times the word Oyer in the beginning of Bereshis when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the light. Keneged the Chamisha Chumshe Torah. Each one, in Shmois, in the beginning of Shmois, the Midrash says, each pasuk where it says Oyer refers to one of the books. First one to Bereshis, second one to Shmois, third one to Vayikra, then to Bamidbar, then to Devar. These are called the Chasadim. So they come down. So what we know on the Keser, we don't know how they come down. They come down through the Chochmah, which gives them to the Bina. The Bina, so these are considered the parents. The father, Abba, Bina, Ima. This is the boy. Kucha Berichu is the son. And this is the daughter. It's just an image. So when the Chasadim come, they come from here to here, and then they start going down. Whatever they receive, they pass on, but a little bit of themselves also, a little bit of color. So the Chesed pass it, the Gvur to Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesoid. The Yesoid has all the 5, boom, into the Malchus. Whatever goes in the Malchus goes down. But now, instead of having 5 times Oyer, 5 Chasadim, we have 5 times Misken. Only the Dinim. What is Misken? Misken is every time we have, it's supposed to have 10 times Tov, 1 Misken cancels it. 10 times Tov, it's 170, equals Misken. Now we have 5 times 170, 850. It means 50 times Tov are canceled by this Misken. That's why it's called Lechem Oini. As long as you are in here, it's called Lechem Oini. And the Lachma Anya. Anya equals, is 131, equals the sum, the Satan that we kill with Anava. We saw that yesterday. And now we're going to move from here. We're going to start our shir. The matzah we're going to eat during Moitzi Matzah, it's called the Matzah's Mitzvah. Has special dinim, special din about the wheat, special din about everything. But we finish with here anava that we saw yesterday that can inhibit the power of the Satan. Let's go here, take anava in full. Ayin, Nun, Vav, Hey equals 273. With anava, you turn the chametz, which is the Satan, into matzah. Let's see if we were right. Matzah has to become mitzvah, right? Matzah, mitzvah. That's the matzah's mitzvah, 282. Moitzi, matzah, exactly. We closed the circle. This is exactly what we've been saying till now. Yes, now we can go back to say to the Tiferet Shloimo, you're 100% right. There are two types of matzahs. There is the lechem oini, which is the lechem of the Satan. Oh, this one, no. This one is, yeah, very low. But we have the matzahs mitzvah because we have the anava that can turn the chametz, take the whole Satan, turn them into a Yetzer HaTov, says the Zohar. Tonight, on the night of the Seder, we can turn the Satan into an ally. Not that he stops harming us or tempting us. No, he's going to push us. He's going to be happy to push us doing mitzvahs. That's matzah's mitzvah. And this is exactly what we're going to do. Moitzi matzah. You can fall on this by chance. Lechem oini equals 208. By the way, lechem oini is Yitzchak. It's tells you the gvura, this dinim. 8 times Yud Ke Vav Ke. This triggers me right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which one it is? The Bina. From the very beginning. The Olam of the Torah, the Olam of Cherus, the Olam of everything is here. Olam Haba Ha'elyon is in the Bina, in the Yesod of the Bina. So, so truly, I come with my pekelech on my back on the night of the Seder. I didn't really make tshuva. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes you here for free. Tonight, you don't have to do any work. Now, you want to keep it, you change. You want to lose it, you keep your way. But you are given a present to be brought up all the way to this world, and we'll see what kind of kapara comes with this world. It's mind-boggling. The level of kapara and how the person is being changed. What happens to him on the night of the Seder as we do the mitzvahs? Mind-boggling. A person is capable on that night on turning the chametz into a matzah. Every chametz that we have inside us in our character, we can change it into matzah. What do we eat tonight? We eat lechatchila 5 kazesim. Moitzi matzah, koirech, and 2 kazesim of afikoimen. These are lechatchila, the 5 kazesim we are obliged to eat. Okay, let's see a second. 5 times matzah, so we have 5 times we have to eat matzah, equals 675. With the koilel, we bring the keser, 676. Yud Ke Vav Ke times Yud Ke Vav Ke. This is this matzah. The matzah's mitzvah, the matzah that we eat for the mitzvah, is not the same matzah as lechem oini. This one, yes, indeed, you bring it from the whole mekor directly to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't know where this comes from. The Ensof, we don't think. On the Keser, up there, right up there. We don't know. Way above the man. Yes, the man is lechem abirim. Lechem abirim means you are in Olam Haberia because the biggest angels arrived to Olam Haberia. You remember this? So we had the 4 worlds, Asiya, Yetzira, Beria, Atzilus. Here we have the angels called the Oifanim. Here we have the Malachim, and here we have the Srafim. But there's no angels in Atzilus. We can go to Atzilus, but no angel can go there. So, Lechem Abirim is these one itman. These malachim, we're going to call it in general malachim itman. But we are here with our matzah. We are in Atzilus. We are way, way up there. So we cannot eat something. Now, someone who eats lechem oini, he's here. With the mitzvah. He's still in lechem oini, in Asiya, all the way down. He didn't go up. But us, that we do the matzah's mitzvah with the, so what is the kavana here to have? The kavana is to have exactly like the Tiferes Shlomo says. First of all, in the Haggadah, you're going to have the Leshem Yichud to say, it's to have the Mekora Bracha Yudke Vavke times Yudke Vavke provide you exactly like the Tzaddik said. Shefa, Dusha, Torah, and Parasha. Now, if you take only Parasha, guy says, all I care is Parasha. All I care is Parasha. What's the minimum you can eat on from Matzah's mitzvah? What's the minimum according to halacha? 3 kazeisim. 3 kazeisim, I mean 3 times matzah, right? 3 times matzah equals 405. 270, 405. 405 equals Parnasa Yud. You get your Parnasa from up there, but only your Parnasa. You don't get Shefa, Bracha. Is your Parnasa going to be for the good? Yeah, probably it's coming from the Yud. It's going to be a good. Can he have something? Okay, big deal. You have a Parnasa guaranteed. What about Rosh Hashanah? That's exactly where it plays. Since Parnasa is defined in Rosh Hashanah, how much a person is going to make, that's only for those people who did not eat matzah. But if you have eaten the 4 kazeisim, the 5 kazeisim of matzah, happily, with kavana, at that point, you way above Rosh Hashanah. So Rosh Hashanah is way lower. You basically projected yourself in the Atzilus. What? It's like saying, oh, someone in France wants to run after me. He can run, I'm in America. Not gonna it's not gonna change my life. However, if you are under or right next to that person is stronger, you run away. You're scared. Here you have nothing to be scared. Your Parnasa is already defined. You understand now how the Zohar is not contradicting and the Tiferes Shlomo in contrary. They're working so beautifully together that this is the pshat. Why the one who eats michla the asvasa, it's a remedy. Remedy means for every problem. What problem? All dinims are problems. No, we don't want a dinim. We can't live with dinim. It's hard. Here, through the 5 simple, and just because Jeff was not here and I like him and I just want to give him the example I gave yesterday. It says in the pasuk, "Verachatzu yedehem veragleihem velo yamusu." They're going to wash the kohanim, their hands and their feet from the kier, and they're not going to die. Why? Because this is how they sanctify themselves. Honestly, you pour water on your hands and on your feet, you become Kaddish. You wash your feet, you become Kaddish. And if you go to mikveh, because there's a Shem mikveh, it's the Shem Kana, the Keye, the Heihin, fine, Aleph, hey, Yud, hey, that's equals 151, like mikveh, has the same value of kas, it washes Afchema, the 2 klippas, Afchema also equals kas. washes in the mikveh. This I understand it, the mathematical. It's the shame takes these clippers down. But washing my feet, washing my hands, are gonna make me Kaddish? No. Nope, not gonna make you. So what makes the Kohen Kaddish? The machshava, what he has, what he doesn't. Eating matzah by itself, just looking, okay, I'm eating, a piece of flat bread. You're not getting your parnassus. What gets your parnassus is the machshava you have when you eat this. This is the power. This is how you connect yourself to the Keser again, through machshava. The same way we got punished, and we learned this in Parshas Tazria and Parshas Metzora, when people have the wrong machshavas. The same way when he has the right machshava, he connects himself to the Keser Elyon, and he becomes a conduit to his own shefa. That's what happens. Now we understand why Moitzi Matzah brings such a shefa, and this is the only conduit, says the Tiferet Shloimeh, for Parnasa, Shefa, Kedusha, and Torah. Okay, that closes the Moitzi Matzah. Let's move on to Kerech, Marer, Moitzi Matzah, Marer, Kerech. Very interesting mitzvah. Why is Chazal asking us to bring Marer, that you have to dip in the charoises and shake it off? Why? The mitzvah, it says in halacha that you should still feel the bitterness of the Marer. I'm sorry. Tonight I'm in the bina. Tonight, I want shefa. Tonight, I want everything. Don't spoil my joy with this Marer. Especially what? You invited an unwanted guest here. Marer equals 446. Like Malves, death. What? The Malach HaMaves? What do I need that for here now? I don't want to think about it. I just want to think about the happiness. So what is this Marer doing in my table? I'm going to have to work a bit like last night because I don't really have time to prepare every time everything. So I'm going to just take this off. I think we're gonna use it tonight, this again. If we take Moshe, so Moshe Rabbeinu, and I'm gonna open it up. Mem, Shin, and Hey. There we go. Well, Moshe Rabbeinu, in his inner, once we see exactly what he has inside, death. Moshe Rabbeinu was the Eved Naaman. How can he be even related to such a thing? Moshe Rabbeinu had the antidote to death. Every time there was a gzeira on the Bnei Yisrael, who was taking it off? Moshe Rabbeinu. Death could not be with Moshe. Scared of Moshe Rabbeinu. Running, even on his last moment of life, he ran after the Malach HaMaves, which is always the woman. Always the woman. And he ran after her, he gave it to her. So Moshe Rabbeinu is the antidote to, that's good. Moshe Rabbeinu understand, my Marer. Why should I have the Marer on the if we see here again, in the midas, so you see every midah you see is also comprised by 10 exactly the same. So you have, and this is when we start counting the 7 weeks, or we only using those one till Shavuos, chesed of chesed, then gvura of chesed, then tiferes of chesed, then netzach of chesed, then hoid of chesed. Each day has his. So we go 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Malchus of Malchus is the 49th night. The next day is Shavuos. So if you take the pure good, so the first one, Chesed Shebechesed, which is the second day, the first day that we start counting the Omer. $4.46. Chesed Shebechesed, the best, the biggest, there's no even din in here. It's all Chesed. 4.46. Yeah. What did he come to tell me here? If you want to annul any decree, even death, you have to connect yourself to Chesed Shebechesed. Not only the Chesed, because the Chesed has 7 midas behind it. Could have Gvura, it's not enough. You have to go on the 7th of the Chesed. Chesed Shebechesed. With this, you annul Mavis, even Mavis. Now, if I go a bit deeper in my Mara, Mara is composed really by 2 words. First word is Mar, which is called 240. And the second one is 2 letters, Resh Vav, which equals 206. 240, we all know this value. It's a very known one. Yeah, here it is. You guessed it, Amalek. So, the klipa of Amalek is somewhere here, and we have to do a job. So here, if we add the kotel, which is the keser, equals 207, really, equals oyer. So basically, when I'm eating the mar, I'm going to trigger a oyer that's going to decimate the klipa of Amalek. Yep. That's exactly the reason how death, which comes from Amalek, this is part of the same club, it's teammates. We're going to finish them, all the dinim, when we're going to eat the mar. So we thought the mar equals death. So it brings bad omen, to have that on the table. No. This is the moment where all the dinim, all the tsaras, anything that struggles you will die. Between the moment we're going to eat, taking off the klipa of Amalek and bringing the oil. How we do that? As I mentioned before, the Ariya Kodesh has a different way to go, and obviously he's right, I'm wrong. There's no question about it. I just want to explain it through a way which is digestible. I could give you the kavana, write this, because charoises is the first letter, it's rus, which dinim, which I want to explain it my way, and we're gonna end up exactly in the same place. But it's more of a if we take our charoises that we have to have, Mara has to be in charoises. You remember, we are 2, less than the previous one where we were here, 676, Yud Kevav Ketav Yum Kev Ke, the Heitam Matzah. But we're almost there in the charoises. Something is cooking with these charoises. So what is 674? 620 is always Keser. There's 620 letters in the Aseret Adibrois. So it reminds the Keser. You realize that I wrote it differently this time, the Yud Ke Vav Ke. You remember here, I taught you this. If it's Yud, it's all Yud. Besides this one, which is in the Bina, Aleph, all Aleph, Hey, all Hey, or so this called Ab Sag, because it's worth 72. This one is worth 63. This one is worth 45, Ma, and 52 Ben. However, in the Shemona Esrei, we have different Yehudim. And we have 13 brachas. We have 30, the first 13 brachas. After the first three. Sorry. So it's the next 13 brachas. We have 13 different Yehudim. And once you write this Charoise 674 Keser Yud Ke Vav Ke written that way, you know which bracha is this one? Mekabetz nitche amo Yisrael. Kabe shofar gadol lecheruseinu. This is exactly the yichud of the bracha. So when we say the Shem Hashem Baruch Ato Hashem, that's the kavana we have in this Shem Hashem. Now you understand what you're triggering here. So each one, each Shem, each name, each yichud has also 10 spheres. Exactly, it has a keser, a chokhmah, a bina, each one in particular. You have in yourself one keser, one in your head, chokhmah, bina, chesed, gvura. I have a different one. So every yichud, every name, everything has it. Nothing is created without the 10 levels. So when we say keser, it means the highest level of this. This is when it basically the biggest strength of cherus is in this name. It lies in charoise, something that's made out of grape juice and all kind of fruit that Bnei Israel are compared to. Yes. What is the secret in that? How is this gonna help my mar? What is coming together in symbiosis here that's gonna trigger something tremendous? Because we explained here, this part mar is we want to take off all the dinim. Anything that we struggle with, this is the kavana we have here. If we take our mora that we're gonna dip in our charoises. Remember, these lights here, the first three, when the beam and the person is under the wings, that's what we call the wing, the kanfei, Lachsois, whatever, tachas kanfei hashrekina. You know, this is the beams of this. But once you're under the wings of these, there is no evil power that can remain in the world. Not only not attached to the person, in the entire world. They go, the Zohar says, they go to the Nukva dit Hoima Rabba, not Nukva dit Tehoima, the deeper Tehoim, then they go into that. When the first three are, so look what we are having here. This is, here we go, in the Keser and in the Bina, the Shem Keye. In the Chachma, the Shem Yud Kevavke. They start beaming. With a simple thing that we've done, Mar and Charoises. Then we go in the Das. Es Hashamayim ve'es Haaretz. This is the name with which the world was created. And it's hinted in the Pasuk, Bereshis bara Elohikim, Es, Aleph, Hashamayim, Hey, ve'es, Vav, Haaretz, Hey. That's the name of the Das. So we have already the four upper there. Then we have Chesed, Kel, totally Chesed, and then we have the Malchus, because Bnei Israel have one fate with the Malchus. Here we go. And now you're going to tell me this is 21, this is 26, this is 17, this is 31, this is 65. How does he make it 1,120? So you multiply it by 7. Why? Because we have to have those names enter all these 7. So they have to pass on their names and the light, and they have to shine to repair the whole entire world, the vav that we are missing in matzah to become mitzvah. And at that point, the whole 10 spheres are going to be beaming on the person, the 10 of them. Once you have that, you have those names, worry not. Not only nothing will affect you anymore, nothing will be around you, millions of miles around. With those names, these are the names what we have in the Charoises and the Mara. Keye, Yud Kevav Ke, Aleph Hey Vav Hey, Kel, and Adnus. 7 times. And these are the names that are going to take all our tsaris and make it history. So Mara indeed points to the Maves, which is the tsaris, the agony. With the Charoises together, they bring me basically these combinations of names that are going to free us totally from and since the world was created with this name, it's called the name of the Das. If you take Mara Charoises, if I just do copy and paste here, whatever we're getting here is 5 times the oil of this name. 5 times. You know how much oil is coming when we eat the mar and the charoises? A person should have full emunah that these names are going to take his tsaris and choke them to death. I want to prove that point. And you remember the story in Parasha's Chukas that there was a Mageifa, and the serpents, the snakes, poisonous snakes started coming to the Machne Yisrael and starting biting people. And since they were poisonous, people were dying. When Moshe Rabbeinu heard this, he told Aaron, Ase nechash nechoishes. I don't know how much time he took him to do this, but make a snake in nechoishes, in copper, and go before the Bnei Israel, and whoever was beaten, show him the snake, and we'll cancel the poison. Someone can explain me something here? How exactly it works? A person was bitten by a real poisonous snake that a host of people have died right away from that. So it's like the mamba, the black mamba. You show him a snake of copper, the poison disappears. Where did he go? It's not in his body anymore. It doesn't attack the nervous system, and no. So where did he go? What is looking at a piece of copper doing for someone? Then it's an antidote, and for the member, the black members, there's no antidote. So how come just looking at the nechash and nechoishes can save someone from death? How do we call poison in Hebrew? First of all, I want to point out with something I remember that I wrote in Parasha's Chukas.
Ra'al.
What?
Ra'al, I think.
No. The what I wrote in Parasha's Chukas is, if you take nechoishes, look at this. If we write the word nechoishes, make it a bit bigger. All right, 22 is fine. What letters are in blue? Nachash. Oh, so you told him to make Nachash nechoishes. Nachash, Nachash. Chametz, machmetzes. Nachash, Nachash. I have extra 2 letters. Taf, Vav, that we saw from the Riyah Kodesh in Parshas Metzora. Boom. Nachash, Nechoishes, Metzora. Here it is. Nechash, Nechoishes equals Nachash, Nachash, Metzora. What are you telling me? Yeah. You have a nasty mouth. So nasty that you got both snakes in you, you became part of them. You have a din of Metzora, but you beyond repair. A Metzora, you can send him out of the campment and he can leave. You are beyond. So what are you showing me? A copper snake. Is the copper snake Vechi nachash memis, vechi nachash mechaye? Ask the Mishnah. Can a snake even kill? Even though a real snake that has poison, remember Eres, which is poison, is Aleph Resh Samech. Everything is in the letters. Every side is in here. This is Eres. Aleph for Alufa Shel Olam HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Resh Samech equals 10 times Yud Kei Vav Kei. It only kills because HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided the person should die. It doesn't kill the Nachash. You remember the Gemara in Brachis said that, you know, one time there was a people that were attacked by a Aroid. Aroid in English, it's these big devil, you call them like huge lizards. They call them in English, I forgot the name.
Iguana.
Huh?
Iguana.
No. Iguana is not a killer. It's called,
Oh, we want to kill her.
yeah, it's called the Aroid. Aroid is, you know, huge. You find them in the islands, in the Philippines, in the, they call it like a devil, you know, or something like this. You see what I mean? They're not so really poisonous, but they have so many. Huh? Someone knows the name here?
Dinosaur.
Like a
No.
dragon. I think it's a dragon.
Yeah.
Dragon.
What it's called again, Jeff?
Some kind of a dragon.
Yes. It's the it's gonna come back to me, the thing dragon, yes. So the guy gets, so Chanina, they told him about you know, this place where Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa, they told him that there was a dragon that was killing people in a city. Does he have the right to kill? Who told him to have the right to kill? Chanina went to his hole, whatever it's, you know, this guy, this Arid, this dragon devil. It's gonna come back to me. So he put his foot in, he beat him, and right away died. People say, woe to the one who made the dragon, and woe to the dragon that met Rav Chanina ben Doisa. And Rav Chanina came to the Beis HaMidrash with the dragon on his shoulder. Does he kill? Can't kill. Everything's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Can a nechash nechoshes revive a person that has poison? No. So what it is, it's a wake-up call. Wake up. Because you brought upon yourself nachash, and you have a din of Mitzorah. Right away, Bnei Yisrael, what were they doing? Tshuva.
It's Komodo dragon.
Huh?
The Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragon. Thank you. Even buffaloes, when they get bitten, they get so many germs that within 2 days they die. So Rab Chanina ben Doisa brings it. This is why I said, even when the Kohanim wash their hand and their feet, they only do something, you know, to remember, to have inside the machshava. Everything is not the maaseh that counts, the machshava that counts. To go from the outside inside, no good. From the inside outside. So your maaseh is only a levush to the machshava. Now you created you made a creature. To make a maaseh without machshava, and then, oh, I'm thinking of no. This is a dead body. The only something, and at this point, your maaseh is, so once you remember that once you're gonna eat the maror, and you're gonna say before the Leshem Yichud, and you just remember Yud Kei Vav Kei Yud Kei Vav Kei Aleph Hey Vav Hey Kel Adnus. You created the machshava, you connected to the Keser Elyon, and boom, you become the conduit. Your Maaseh leaves, and now it will bear fruits, exactly like the Bnei Israel with the Nechash Nechoishes with the Tshuva that they had. Now, why did I bring this Nechash Nechoishes? Because I wanted to prove my point, right? So I'm going to prove my point. Now, if we take Mara and write it in full, Mem, Reish, Vav, Reish, equal 1,122. We saw that number before, right? Almost. So if you calculate Mara Charoises together with the letter, I mean, with the words, one word, two words, so it's equal. And again, we close a circle. Our Nechash Nechoishes, when we eat Mara, we have exactly the same power as when Aaron showed the Nechash Nechoishes to the Bnei Israel. And if they can be saved from even a poisonous snake, a bite from a poisonous snake, Kol Sheken, that while eating the Mara, you see, we had to open it, or it's Mara Charoises together with the two letters. We having them here, we are in the position of Nechash Nechoishes. This is just mind-boggling. And if we push a little bit, we say in Shir Malois Esaena Le'im Manyava Israel Zimim Hashem Oise Shemayim V'Aretz Hashem Shemrecha Hashem Tzilecha, He's your shadow. Hashem Yishmor Seischa Uvoyecha Me'ato V'Ado Ilam. Hashem Yishmor Seischa Uvoyecha, exactly Nechash Nechoishes. In other words, well, in the Torah, Nechash Nechoishes is written without a vav. So I don't want to, in case you remake the cheshbon and you find a little bit 8 instead here, you have to know there was no vav in the Torah. So here, Hashem, so what happened when I eat the Mara? I'm on the Shmira. That's how the Nechash Nechoishes works. Because you put yourself under the Shmira of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's equal also Refuas HaNefesh. The Ariya Kodesh says there's no sickness in the body whatsoever. The body is dead. Can have a sickness. Do they catch a cold, dead people? They don't catch a cold. Why? Because the body is dead. Germs don't have an effect on the body. It's the nefesh that gets sick and passes on, and the way it transpires, it shows on the body. That's how a person gets sick. So once we have the with the Mara, so with the matzah we had the michla de asvasa, the remedy. With the Mara we have the refuas hanefesh to all the tsaros, because it catches a person in the nefesh. So now we understand why the Mara is on our table. It's a component that we need. It's basically unavoidable in our life. There's nobody that has no tsaros. The only way to free yourself from this tsaros is by having the kavana when we eat the Mara. Amen. I wanted to do kairech, but I don't think we can do it tonight.